I'll be honest, I was hesitant to start Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. The synopsis was questionable, and controversy was prevalent. But then, I saw that smirk. And the next thing I knew, Nagatoro was my profile picture, I had a figure on pre-order, and Easy Love was already somehow my most listened to song on Spotify for 2021. Now, is the Nagatoro anime the best romance anime of all time? Probably not. But is it worth the hype? Absolutely. And I know you may be asking yourself, weeaboof, what's so good about it? The answer can be found in one word and one word alone. The incredibly overwhelming and augmented persistence of an unfiltered, healthy, heavily nutritious, and beneficial good. Or for the more complicated version, wholesomeness. Now, what exactly qualifies something as wholesome? The definition of the Oxford language phrases it as a conducive to or suggestive of good health and physical well-being. However, as it relates to Nagatoro, its other adjective rendition seems more fitting, promoting moral well-being. Or, in layman's terms, something wholesome can be described as something that makes you feel good. But not just any good, it's a virtuous, ethical, and simple goodness. The most notable examples of wholesome animes would have to be Laid Back Camp and Non Non Biyori. Scholars speculate that if every person on the planet watched just one episode of these animes, worldly conflict would be a thing of the past. And now you may be thinking to yourself, weeaboof, where is the feel-good aspect in a plot centered around bullying? And the best illustration I can think of to explain myself relates to what is known as the snowball effect. Now, for those of you who are confused, the snowball effect is not the best snow scene from your favorite anime. The snowball effect is actually metaphoric in nature. The internet's most trusted source, Wikipedia, lays it out as a process that starts from an initial state of small significance and builds upon itself, becoming larger, and also perhaps potentially dangerous or disastrous, though it might be beneficial instead. To elaborate, imagine a snowflake. Now, this snowflake is evidently compact in form, but combined with other refined snow particles, it can either become something as devastating as an avalanche or something as beautiful as the snowcap of Mount Fuji. And I truly do believe this notion best encapsulates why Nagatoro is and should be considered peak wholesomeness. Now it's time to address the one caveat of my argument. The first episode does come off as a bit avalanche-ish. Nagatoro's bullying in episode 1 promotes similarities of getting bombarded in the face with deadly dry powder at speeds of 190 miles per hour and masses around 10 million tons. I was right there shedding tears with Senpai. Episode 1's demeanor does play a purpose, but it also threads the needle between enjoyment and disapproval. It's sort of like casting a line with an edible sword. It's a hook that's hard to take in. I promise that will be the only fishing simile in this video. Essentially, the first episode's mood and tone can be rationalized by a simple struggle to survive in a demanding feed of virtual pastimes. The snowflake is still prevalent in episode 1, but it is much more apparent in episode 2 and obviously in its growth throughout the rest of the series. Think of episode 1 as a what could have been in terms of a small significance becoming disastrous, and the rest of the show as the birthing of an essence more beneficial, hence the formation of genuine wholesomeness. The most fruitful and clear aspects of wholesomeness in the anime can be found in the relationship between Nagatoro and not Senpai. While there are other wholesome elements in the show, the cultivation of the wholesomeness between the anime's main duo develops at such a rate that it can't help but maintain the spotlight. But what makes their relationship so unique? It is the healthy balance of innocence and mischief. While Nagatoro plainly is the driving force of the mischief in the relationship, I would argue that she is also the more innocent of the two. Senpai is presented as innocent given how we are to perceive his character, but he too is also mischievous simply given he is a high school boy doing what normal high school boys do. Their relationship is so fun to watch because neither one is willing to reveal their innocent side, but will happily put up with the mischief in the relationship in order to highlight the hidden innocence in one another. It is within this playful battle that the feel-good features of wholesomeness prosper. It is at the climax of the delightful toying where one of the character's innocence instinctively seeps through. It is in these moments where the viewer has no choice but to take a step back and say, wow, that was wholesome. And continuing, this notion is heightened even further as it relates to two world-leading social factors, time and effort. Nothing elevates the idea of feeling good than when it is grounded upon hours and hours of continual strive. So when we see Nagatoro teasing Senpai all the way up to his wit's end and causing Senpai to subconsciously reveal his true feelings for her, saying that it was simply worth it would be an understatement. The feel-good feels even better. The wholesomeness becomes even more wholesome. It's like my great-grandma always said, if someone's affection for you appears to be deep, shake it off and call them a creep. And yet we can take this analysis
even further beyond!
When revisiting the snowball effect, the potentially dangerous or disastrous route doesn't necessarily have to be negative.
Nani?
In fact, you could even make the claim that the entirety of the bullying in the show is the danger and is the disaster. With this in mind, to take something that could be considered a catastrophic calamity and still transform it into something wholesome, it is something worthy of being called special. The snowflake within the Nagatoro anime builds upon itself in many different shapes and forms, all with the direction of manifesting wholesomeness. And ultimately, nothing can fully complete wholesomeness than with the incorporation of what is natural. The growth of Nagatoro and Senpai's relationship encompasses equilibrium. As a spectator, you want the romance to blossom, but you never get the feeling that it is being rushed or forced. I can't think of a better way to describe the perception of feeling good than when letting something naturally become what it wants to become. And I am genuinely excited to see their relationship grow and sustain all of its heartwarming qualities. So at the end of the day, is bullying wholesome? Of course not, but can a relationship become wholesome within a precarious atmosphere? I think so, especially when the love is focused around a great waifu and her senpai building upon and illuminating their own respective innocence. So I know I probably should have done this at the beginning of the video, but hi, I'm Weeaboof. If you're subscribed to the channel, you probably know me as that one guy who makes anime memes. But not the good anime memes you see on YouTube, more like the off-brand ones. To use a soda analogy, think of me as the Dr. Thunder of anime memes. Similar, I guess, but not quite Dr. Pepper yet. Well, more so, I used to be. What I'm trying to say is that up until this point, I've just been a memer. And don't get me wrong, I had a blast making anime memes, but part of me has always wanted to try making anime analysis type videos. To be precise, I wanted to take a shot at being a video essayist. And so, I did, and I had a lot of fun making this video, the one I'm talking in right now. I'm sorry if this ramble is getting too meta, but I genuinely do think I would like to try and make another video essay, so let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed the video. While this was my first time making an analysis video, it did take me quite a while to create. So to be completely honest, I'm not sure if I can pump these out on a weekly basis without help, but I most definitely can try. And conversely, if you only sub for the memes, hopefully you could find it in your heart to enjoy the transition. But there is also the possibility of this video being received terribly and I go back to making memes regardless. Anyways, if you're new, I would wholeheartedly appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button so you can embark on this journey with me and my self-discovery as an AniTuber. Also,
don't forget to smash that like button.
I can't believe I finally got to say that. I guess it's time for me to give some sort of ending catchphrase. Let's see. And remember everyone, you can't be a weeb without saying oof. Actually, that might be a little cringe. I don't know. I'll work on it. Until next time.